Boy, oh boy, am I cozy. I'm sitting in my bed right now. This is rested in the table section of my LED bed frame. And this is my first YouTube video in a long time. I've actually been experimenting with posting on Instagram and TikTok for short form content. And recently with YouTube, I just feel like I haven't had anything important to say. And also with content creating, I'm not sure where else I want to go with this or where it is I'm trying to go. Because I don't want to do shit posting where you just kind of do whatever. I don't want to talk about that stuff because digital footprint, okay, guys? Like, I still think about, even though the job market is bad, I'm still thinking about the future when employers are looking for anybody and everybody. Because word on the street is AI is getting too expensive for companies. And they're going to start asking real people to do jobs again. So we'll see about that. I just don't want my employer to ask me during the interview, like, what is your relationship with this video about gooning? Like, I don't want to talk about that stuff. I don't want to have to explain that. So I went viral on Instagram 6 times. Like, when I mean viral, I mean close to or just under 100K. Every day I'm still getting likes, notifications on my video. I've just been looking at the way niche content is. I've been stuck in the house for the last year with unemployment and trying to figure out what do I want to do. And I realized as a kid I always wanted to be a YouTuber. I always wanted to be a Viner. And I've been looking and studying content and seeing how people show up in the world. How people show up in the world is so individualistic to them. You don't have to be the most followed person to go viral. It's not even hard to go viral. Everybody goes viral for anything nowadays. And it's not about necessarily endangering yourself or doing something stupid. Maybe it's just a dumb joke, you know? Or maybe it's about something that's important. You're either educating or entertaining people online. And I realized that I like to do those things. So I started making niche TikTok dance-centered comedic content. Not even thinking that the video's that funny. And I'm waking up to videos being at like 20K views. Then it goes to 50K, then 60K. And it's just insane to see how many people in a community can relate to your stuff. It's insane. Like, for me, like, I was making specific breakdance niche content. Like, I had Olympians, I had world-class athletes. Everyone from all over the world was liking my stuff. And it made me reflect and think, especially when I'm scrolling through people on my Explore page on Instagram for posts and videos. There's a huge world out there that people like to contribute to and then share on the internet. The need of being famous or valuing famous that I've discovered within myself, it's like, it's shown me that there's room for everybody on the internet. You know, you don't have to be a 1%er in anything. If you do genuinely for yourself, then you can be. But if you're doing it because you want the numbers to... People aren't numbers. You know, every single person that likes or comments, that's not just the numbers, that's people. Like, when I saw how many times and how I kept going viral, what it meant, I impacted somebody's day. Like, that's no small feat. Whether you have 10 followers or you have 1 million followers, that's no small feat with what you do. And that's why we have to be so careful. That's why I have to be so careful when I'm on the internet, because I don't want to just say anything, because I could be influencing somebody the wrong way. You don't decide. I know I'm kind of all over the place here. I'm trying to stay cohesive. You can't decide who values your stuff or what it is they value about your videos. You can't decide how your videos or how your words touches somebody. You can't, right? Like if you're getting picked on in the 5th grade or 6th grade, or if you were picking on someone, you can't control how long words echo inside someone else's brain, good or bad. So the same thing applies to content creating. It's bizarre to me, and the fact that I'm just so I'm just comfortable. Uncomfortable with the fact, yeah, my face is all over the internet. People can go and watch it anytime. It's pretty nuts to me, man. But it's exciting and it feels good. But it also feels good to post, and it gets me used to the idea of flopping. When you flop, I still stand proudly behind all of my silly and fun ideas that I post on my Instagram. I don't regret what I post. Just because it doesn't do good doesn't mean it's a waste. It's not a waste. Somebody liked it, and it's important to value what you find. It's important to value other people's, I don't want to say approval because you can't live for that, but I guess approval in the work that you wanted to share, because you wanted to share it because you wanted some sort of approval, right? Not saying that's a bad thing, but when you rely on it, when you rely on external validation, that's when it can get bad. So yeah, that's been my experience. I've learned about posting from lack. You can't post from lack either. Hey, strangers on the internet. Hey, every single person that works a 9 to 5 and goes on their phone before or after their shift to de-stress or prepare for their day. Here's why you should pay attention to me. Like, what? You can't get on the internet with that entitlement, because then you only make yourself upset when you do flop. You should be on the internet because you want to be there. I've talked to friends about this. I was watching like this animated documentary, or you know how new gen artists, YouTubers will talk about a subject, but then they'll also show their artwork in the background. They were talking about the Jim Crow era with slavery and racism, and how basically how people were brainwashed to believe all these negative things about Black people. You had people in the news that were programming, right? You had people that were speaking up on these stands and with these big microphones and explaining their philosophy on why Black people are the enemy, basically. And then you also had actors putting on blackface and doing these performances while mocking Black people. One is educating, even though it's false information, and the other is entertaining, even though it's derogatory. So that's what media is. You are either entertaining or you are educating somebody. You are either solving somebody's problems or you are helping them forget about them. So when it comes to sharing your work online, whether it's philosophy or something artistic, that's what you're doing. That's what social media is. And beyond social media, it comes down to, social interaction and communication, because we as humans need that to live. And as I'm having this realization that, so what you post it matters. The numbers don't make it more or less meaningful. People are getting on and starting their content journeys all the time, every day. And they're flopping and getting random successful videos out of nowhere every day. It's normal now. What we put out, even if it gets 10 likes, is still valuable to somebody. It was still valuable to somebody. It wasn't a waste of space on your phone. Yeah, I noticed when posting or creating, in the middle of it, I'm like, this is stupid. This is going to be embarrassing. This is going to be a waste of time. This is going to be a flop. It's going to be a flop. And I don't know why anybody would want to look at this. Those are thoughts that start popping up in my mind every time I start a video. No matter how much proof my brain gets from the success of my videos, it's not enough. I'm like, I guess it's the perfectionistic mindset I have. It needs to be, if it's not over 10K, it's a flop. If it's not over 10K, it's a waste. I'm like, you gotta gradually work your way up to that. And the more and more followers you get, the more and more people are gonna want to stalk your Instagram. The more people that stalk your Instagram, the more views and likes will go up, because people want to see all your content, because the audience that you're building likes you for you. But you have to earn that trust. Again, it comes back to that social factor of it. Social media. Yeah. I learned when you're posting, you have to just live and let go. You have to create the message that you're trying to convey, right? In like a little piece of paper, and you have to wrap it into the Dove, which is the social app the social app of your choice. And then you have to let that messenger bird fly, man. It reaches whoever it gets to reach. You cannot control the algorithm. You do not decide who rocks with your shit. Yeah. Another thing I learned was, what did I learn? Oh yeah, with how people speak online, some people, they do not care at all. They just work their normal job. They're not focused on being like commercially palatable or anything like that. They work their normal job, and they just turn on their Instagram camera and they just rant and rant and rant and show all the ugliness of human expression and this and that, and cuss and this, do all this stuff. And they get to 100K followers. They don't get anything out of it other than an audience, and that's okay for them. Other people will be more curated with their content because they want opportunities from being a content creator, which is something that I want. So I've realized that you can be, shoot, how did I have it? There's like 2 different spectrums, or maybe 4 different spectrums. So you could be unpalatable, or you can be palatable. You can be commercially successful and palatable, but you can't be as raw because of the sponsorships and stuff. You can be unpalatable and raw, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get opportunities from it. I don't think I put that together properly. I'll probably have to edit that. Yeah. I do know that I carry a badge of honor. It feels like a badge of honor just to see the over 10K views, the little white numbers on an Instagram reel. It just feels so good to hit that, man. I don't know why people hide their likes. I don't know why. For me personally, I always wanted that, and then a month or 2 ago, I just started trying and talking about things and questioning my personality and how I put effort into my videos, and what does that say about me, kind of thing, and understanding my more creative expression, or my true expression of self. Because when you watch so many videos, it can be easy to copy other people, but what's important is copying other people and putting your own twist on it. Sometimes I'm looking into the camera, I'm like, is this really me? Am And it's like, yes, my ideas are working. I don't feel fake when I press post. So it's a lot of self-reflection. When you go online or when you create and share anything with the world, you can't just, you have to know yourself to create intentionally. You're creating intentionally, not only for yourself, but because you want to share it. So you're creating intentionally for approval of some sort, because you need approval to get sponsorships or to get paid for who you are, or to go somewhere with this, whatever you get out of content creation, even if it's just an audience and nothing else. You cannot just throw paint at a wall forever without looking back and questioning, oh, what about this video didn't go well? What is it that didn't hold? Why are people not retaining? But you also want to be like, why am I putting myself in these positions? I don't want to compromise myself. I don't want to say things I don't mean, post them and then not stand on it. I don't want to tell jokes that I actually don't find funny. I don't want to sell myself out on my own account, especially if I'm not even getting paid for it. You want to be able to create because you want to create and because it feels right for you and because you think it'd be a really cool thing to share with the world. It does come down to intentionality and authenticity within yourself. Any single creator that you see on any of your favorite social media apps, whether they're dead or whether they're currently popping, every person that you see that's climbing, that's grinding, they're being themselves to the best of their ability. And that means something, you know? So, yeah, it's pretty much all of what I've learned. This is just on my heart to post. That's my thoughts and everything that I've learned from going viral on social media and niches. I don't know what else I'm going to talk about or what I'll post again. Maybe might be more consistent on here. Again, I don't know what I'm doing, but I can't stop thinking about content creating. So, yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.